So, morning everyone. Today, well, actually yesterday, but only 8 students came to the class. We're talking about New Year's celebrations and how they differ from one country to another. So, we'll introduce some vocabulary talking about New Year's Eve celebrations around the world and then look at some general speaking tasks. What do you do on New Year's Eve? Thai people, as we had a small chat yesterday, tend to have Thai barbecue. But New Year's Eve differs around the world from one country to another. So, what we do and how we celebrate New Year is always subject to our location and our whereabouts in the world today. So what do people do around the world to celebrate New Year? What do young people do? What about older people? Let's have a look at some more pictures. So when you have a look at these pictures here, it says, let's celebrate. Picture of a clock indicating that possibly it's the run-up time to midnight. Some champagne glasses indicating some celebration. And some pictures of some fireworks, which also indicate celebratory event. And here particularly New Year's Eve, the 31st of December. So which words would you associate with these pictures? Could you describe these pictures better than I have done? So Thai people generally tend to celebrate with family. Family come from all around Thailand and celebrate New Year's Eve. Let's talk about a normal New Year, not a New Year where we have COVID. So generally we tend to celebrate with friends and family, but particularly I know in Thai families it's a huge family gathering. A gathering of people from all parts of Thailand come together to celebrate the New Year. There's the countdown, where they literally count down the last few seconds to chant in the new year, to celebrate the turn into the next year. Toast the new year. What does toast the new year? Here we have a picture of 2 champagne glasses. So people toast. They toast together by chinking glasses like this and say, okay, Happy New Year. Let's make this a better year than we did before. Throw a party. People throw a party in their gathering, obviously. They watch firework displays and they particularly reflect on events, specific events from the past year. Things like COVID that have totally dampened 2020. We will never forget. People hopefully after the turn of this next month, with the advent of the vaccine, we can put the whole of the events of COVID behind us and move on. COVID-free environment. So do you know any cities that have large firework displays? What happens in your country on New Year's Eve? Bangkok particularly has a large firework display normally. London, the major capital cities around the world, London, New York, Sydney, Australia is particularly famous for its firework display with the huge Sydney Harbour Bridge behind as the backdrop and the Opera House. It's very famous for the firework display. But then having said that, I think so too is Koh Samui in Thailand. I've spent at least 1 or 2 New Years in Samui, and I think Koh Samui has one of the best firework displays in the whole world. So what other things to celebrate? People go to parties. New Year's Eve usually spent with family or friends or both, we know that. Do people exchange gifts? In my country, in the UK, we don't tend to give gifts at New Year, but I do know, as a rule, generally, Thai people tend to exchange gifts at New Year. You tend to have a box with numbers in it, and you pick out a number, and then you buy one gift for the person whose number is on that ticket. That's what we tend to do at school anyway, ordinarily. But as I say, generally, Westerners tend to give presents at Christmas time. They do not tend to give presents at New Year. Not really any gift exchanging at New Year, only on the 25th of December, on Christmas Day. So this next slide, we have to match some vocabulary with the meanings or the definitions that these words particularly come up at New Year. Particularly with this slide, SB, they've abbreviated SB, somebody, and STH as something. So there's 2 or 3 of examples of that throughout the slide. Match the words to the definition then. Toast somebody or something. Toast somebody or something. To toast somebody or something is a proposal of health and success, marked by raising glasses and drinking together. The next one, to make a resolution. To make a resolution. I keep asking you, M6, what are your New Year's resolutions? When you make a resolution, you have to be determined to do something, to make a decision to do something. To be determined to do something, or to make a decision to do something. To make a resolution. When you reflect on something, you reflect on something. You think carefully and you meditate or ponder about something. You reflect on something. You think carefully or meditate or ponder about something. And the last one, a gathering. A gathering is simply a group of people, but there tends to be lots of family and friend gatherings, particularly at the celebratory time of New Year. So now talking about New Year's Eve and New Year's celebrations around the world, particularly, as I mentioned before, Sydney and Australia. The annual New Year's Eve fireworks in Sydney are very, very famous. It is easy to recognise Sydney from the Opera House and the Sydney Harbour Bridge. The bridge is a wonderful place from which to launch fireworks. It is absolutely incredible, the firework display in Australia. Another place that's quite unique for celebrating New Year is Scotland, with Edinburgh Castle as a majestic backdrop. The skies light up 7 times during the night, called Hogmanay. They call it Hogmanay in Scotland. Scottish people love to party, they love to drink, they love to celebrate, and you can be sure that there'll be lots of dancing and drinking if you celebrate in Edinburgh in Scotland for New Year. Moving on then, on to Dubai. Dubai in the UAE, United Arab Emirates. Fireworks explode in 1,000 colours from the top to the bottom of the famous building, the highest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa, an incredibly tall building. People celebrate all over the city. You can also see fireworks from the Burj Al Arab Hotel, where many people gather on the beach to celebrate the New Year. Dubai, again, famous for its fireworks for New Year. Which cities do you think celebrate New Year before Thailand? Many cities around the world are to the west of Thailand, so indirectly they're celebrating New Year after us. The cities that are to the east and the countries that are located easterly of Thailand celebrate the New Year in advance of Thailand. So Kiribati is one of the first nations to celebrate New Year. In fact, January the 1st is almost finished by the time people celebrate New Year's Eve in Los Angeles. But do remember there is more than one New Year's Eve. As we had a short chat about it yesterday in the class, obviously Thai people, you celebrate Songkran in April. Chinese New Year is also known as the Spring Festival celebrations, traditionally run from the eve to the Lantern Festival on the 15th day of the first calendar month, making it one of the longest celebrated festivals. The first day of the new year falls on some day between the 21st of January and the 20th of February. So not everybody or every culture celebrates New Year on the 31st of December or the 1st of January. Nowruz is the first day of spring and the beginning of the year in the Persian calendar. Persia is the old name for Iran. It usually occurs on the 21st of March. Nowruz is celebrated by different ethnic communities and religious backgrounds. Also, when we celebrate different cultures' New Year's, we also celebrate by eating and drinking different things. Generally, Thai people tend to have Thai barbecue, mukhatat. Other cultures tend to eat and drink different things for New Year. So New Year, what is something that you could change in your life? What would you like to improve? Many people at the turn of the year make New Year's resolutions, and that's something that I asked you to do. Write down 3 New Year's resolutions. It can be anything from I want to get fit, I want to plan to eat a healthier diet, we are going to work less, or I want to learn a new language. Or particularly in your case, it could mean I want to get my place at university this year. Now this next slide is a conversation between 2 people talking about the new year. What do you think they're going to talk about? A party, the weather, taking a vacation, a car accident, possibly New Year's resolutions, right? Or buying a bus ticket. Let's have a listen.
Hi Cam, how are you doing? I'm well, and you? Really well, thanks. I'm looking forward to Andrew and Sarah's New Year's Eve party tonight. Are you coming? For sure. So, what's your New Year's resolution? This year, I've got a couple of them. First, I'm going to stop eating sugary foods. No candy, no cake, no pop, soda, or other fizzy drinks. And also, I promised myself to get fit. More exercise, less work. It'll be tough, but next year, I'm going to keep my New Year's resolutions, at least for a few months. And you? Any New Year's resolutions?
Well, yeah, just the one. My resolution is to relax more. More vacations, more time around the house, and less time at work. Life passes fast, and I'm always at the office. So from January, I plan to leave the office each night by 6 p.m.
That's a nice idea. And are you bringing anything to the party?
No, Sarah and Andrew said not to bring anything.
Okay, so what did they say? Who said each of these things? Cam or Eric? I'm going to eat sugary foods. I am going to take more vacations. It will be tough to keep my resolutions. I'm going to leave the office each night by 6 p.m. And number 5, life passes fast. Listen to the recording one more time.
Hi Cam, how are you doing?
I'm well, and you?
Really well, thanks. I'm looking forward to Andrew and Sarah's New Year's Eve party tonight. Are you coming?
For sure. So, what's your New Year's resolution?
This year, I've got a couple of them. First, I'm going to stop eating sugary foods. No candy, no cake, no pop, soda, or other fizzy drinks. And also, I promised myself to get fit. More exercise, less work. It'll be tough, but next year, I'm going to keep my New Year's resolutions, at least for a few months. And you? Any New Year's resolutions?
So, carry on and fill in the gaps. Okay, thank you.